Hi there, this is Gila. While I don't intend to keep on doing videos about Tommy Robinson now that he is free, although he is on bail and awaiting a possible new trial concerning the Leeds contempt of court charge, I listened to him talking to Ezra Levant of the Rebel Media, and I was appalled to hear what Tommy went through. He was moved from a relatively safe prison in Hull to only prison, with the highest proportion of Muslim prisoners in the country, and was immediately put in solitary confinement for his own protection. Anyone actually concerned about his safety would surely have kept him in a prison where only a small proportion are Muslims. Tommy didn't dare eat the prison food prepared by other prisoners because they could easily have drugged or poisoned him, and he existed on tuna and fruit because he could only spend £12 a week on food. As a result, he lost over £40 during the 2 months he spent in prison. He couldn't open his cell windows when it was hot because other prisoners could spit or throw feces into his cell. Essentially, he was subjected to some level of physical abuse and also psychological torture. I've given the link to him talking about this below. Personally, I've spoken out about Tommy's plight and also the problem with Islam as a political ideology because I no longer live in Britain and feel freer to do so as a result. Where I live nowadays, in Israel, there is a cause dear to my own heart, where all non-Muslims, including Jews, are forbidden to pray on what is actually the very holiest Jewish site of all, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, so as not to offend Muslims in their own worship on the same site, where there is the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, and a huge amount of space. Frankly, there is plenty of room for all. This situation is not only ludicrous, it is deeply offensive and frankly illegal. And yet, on it goes. If you manage to go up there and you go up one rickety bridge, during the limited visiting hours open to non-Muslims, you are literally followed around and watched, just in case you open your mouth in spoken prayer, upon which you can be arrested and removed. It is way past time that good people stand up peacefully, but firmly, and reclaim our rights to freedom of belief and worship, of living our lives however we choose, so long as we do not harm others, and most important of all, of freedom of speech, which is what gives us all the other freedoms. What the protests about Tommy Robinson have shown is that ordinary people, mostly good, honest people, who simply want to live their lives freely and peacefully, can stand up and make a difference. I would urge people not to be afraid. Don't be afraid of being falsely accused of being a racist or a bigot or whatever. If enough people stand up and say enough is enough, that there are certain dearly bought freedoms in Britain and in the West that we will never surrender, and that anyone who comes to live in our country needs to respect the culture, the laws and freedoms of the indigenous people, then I believe we can still protect the freedom of everyone here, whatever their ethnicity or belief, and of all our lives, and avoid a potential bloody and unimaginable civil war in the future, which would be good for nobody. Thank you for listening, and all the best to everyone, especially Tommy Robinson and his family. Thank you.